Lights on, pretending we don't know. But the forest is silent, the river's running low, and the flame on our plates is the strongest fire we throw. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. 7 boundaries broken, the earth pushed past the line. Climate, land, species, fresh water, chemicals, nutrients, oceans in decline. Not danger, disaster in real time. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Metaphorians rise, this is your power. And here in India, one truth stands the same. Milk is not just milk, dairy feeds the flame. Cows and methane, fields and forests turn to grain. Politics, culture, carbon, all wired to the same chain. Every cup of curd is heat in the air, every block of butter is a forest repair. It's not a small habit, it's a planetary affair. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is our hour. Energy fixes half the hurt, Dr. Rao made that clear. But food fixes the other half, the half that's burning here. Change the plate, change the land, change the future's atmosphere. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Metaphorians unite, this is your choir. Every millet, every fruit, every sapseed, every bean is water on the wildfire of a world we've never seen. Every oil-free bite is a river turning clean. This is not perfection, it's direction. Not pressure, but protection. A week of choices can cool a generation. A company's courage can ignite a nation. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. Metaphorians unite, Metaphorians ignite, sharing love in the metazone, lighting the path to a cooler home. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Together we rise, together we inspire.
Welcome to the Planet B podcast, where truth, transformation, and faith converge. Join us as we flip the script on ecological despair, guided by Dr. Sailesh Rao's vision for a compassionate, rewilded vegan world. Let's begin the journey to the greatest transformation in human history.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to episode 23. The title of today's episode is Busting the Protein Myth. Dr. Rao, I know you're ready to bust this myth.
Yeah, it's a myth that's central to the system on planet A, because it's the myth that makes everybody go and exploit animals and thereby prop up the system that's all about growth, growth, growth. So I begin this chapter with a quote by C.S. Lewis, who said that a myth is a lie that conveys a truth.
Now that is a true statement right there.
So it conveys a truth. The truth is that yes, animal bodies do have protein. But the lie that's conveyed is that animal bodies are the only foods that have protein. The animal protein is the most complete protein. Animal protein is the superior protein. And all these are myths that have been propagated through the education system. In reality, it's simply not true.
All right, and that goes right into your foundational myth and foundational truth. So right at the beginning of this chapter, you highlight the foundational myth on planet A. Protein is only found in animal foods, and the foundational truth in planet B is all plant foods have all amino acids and have complete protein.
Correct. Yeah. Because even the protein efficacy tests that people run, and these are all rigged to make it look like animal protein is the superior protein. So you choose a
Jeez.
test that's all about muscle growth. Okay. But muscles aren't the only things that we need to replace in day-to-day activity, unless you are a buff who is always, trying to grow muscles. That's not the only thing you're growing. If you look at the normal cells you have to grow back, it's intestinal cells are the first cells that die really fast. And for that, the optimum food are plant foods. So they have the right protein composition for that. But again, the body recycles all the protein that dies from the dying cells. So it's not clear why you should be eating just animal protein, right? But they rig the test to make it look like that's the optimum protein that you need to be eating.
So that's how they rig the test based on just muscle growth. But what you're
Correct.
saying is actually the most important protein is within our intestines.
You have to look at which cells are being replaced. And the cells that die fast are the ones in the intestines. Protein cells don't die that fast. There are other cells that die much, much faster. So basically, protein is found in every cell in our body. And as cells die out, and we are constantly recycling our body cells, right? As cells die out, you need to have protein in the food to replace that. Now, the body also has this fantastic mechanism for recycling the protein. It breaks it all down to the constituent amino acids, and then it figures out how to make new cells. So when you look at the mechanism, it's so amazing how the body functions. You realize how they rig the test to make it look like only muscle cells have to be replaced. Okay. And when you make that the test, animals' protein is definitely better because animal muscles are what we are eating. And animal
Wow.
muscles are very, very close to our muscles. You might as well be eating, our muscles.
It's kind of gross, honestly.
It is, yeah. But that's the reason why it's better, right?
Hmm.
In those tests. There's so much work that's been done, and I listed all that in the chapter, talking about what happens when you eat animal foods. Because it's not just the protein you're ingesting, you're ingesting all these other things. So it's like the protein, is part of a combination in which, you're getting all these other things that you don't want. Dr. Walter Willett's quote is very important there. He said, to the metabolic systems engaged in protein production and repair, it's immaterial whether amino acids come from animal or plant protein. However, protein is not consumed in isolation. Instead,
Hmm.
it's packaged with a host of other nutrients. So he said, pick the best protein packages by emphasizing plant sources of protein rather than animal sources. Because there are so many other compounds like insulin growth factor 1, IGF-1, that comes with animal protein. And that is not good for you. I'm reminded of Dr. Milton Mills. He said, drinking dairy in order to get nutrients is like inhaling cigarette smoke in order to get oxygen.
And we're going to talk a lot more about that in the next episode for sure. How does it differ, Dr. Rao, when protein is packaged in animal meats versus how protein is packaged and consumed in plant-based foods?
Yeah, there are these other compounds you have to look at that come with the animal foods, like IGF-1, And sulfur-containing amino acids are in higher concentrations in animal foods. They induce a state of acidosis, and that causes our body to leach calcium from our bones. So there are consistent studies that show that those who consume a lot of dairy and consume a lot of animal protein in general have more bone fractures because of this property. Because
Wow.
the animal protein composition is not optimum composition. It's optimum if you are a jock who's building muscle. But
Hmm.
most people who are sitting on the sofa or something, in the ordinary people, this is not the optimal protein you should be consuming. It also causes TMAO. So TMAO is a compound produced when gut bacteria metabolize nutrients found in animal foods like carnitine and choline. These are types of amino acids, right? This is the excess sulfur-containing amino acids. And high levels of TMAO will increase cholesterol plaques in our blood vessels and basically lead to heart disease. And Dr. Kim Williams said the fact that animal proteins cause TMAO is reason enough to avoid them like the plague. Plant proteins don't have high levels of sulfur-containing amino acids. But if you look at the amino acid profile, the ideal amino acid profile in the tests, it's closely related to animal protein. Why? Because they want to make it look like meat is the best protein.
So they even modify that. They even modify the amino acid tests, the amino acid profile to manipulate people into eating animal foods.
Correct. It's
Wow.
basically based on the same efficacy tests, which are all about measuring muscle growth. But if you are growing muscles and you want to grow muscles using plants, you can do that too. You just have to eat a lot of plants together. So you get a variety of amino acids. So mixing, rice and legumes, for instance, will be good for muscle growth. In general, we get so much protein in our food. Like in general, we know that the average American is eating 2 to 3 times as much protein as they really need, and 1/3 the fiber that they need. And that deficiency in fiber is responsible for all the diseases, the chronic diseases that people have in America. So it's responsible for obesity, because what happens when you don't take enough fiber in your food is that fiber has no calories, but it fills up your stomach. So our body says you're done with eating when your stomach is full. Now, if you're filling up your body, your stomach, with foods that don't have any fiber, you're going to eat a lot more calories for the same volume of food. Okay? And if you don't use those calories, then the body takes all the excess fat that it didn't burn and stores it for future.
Wow.
It's a mechanism that body has for making sure that you can get through a famine. When a famine happens, then you can burn all your excess fat. And fat is normally rare to get in food. This is why the body is looking for fat and accumulating it. So this mechanism, by eating foods that are low in fiber, and animal foods have zero fiber, there's no fiber in animal foods. By eating foods that have no fiber, you are loading up on calories when your stomach is full. And so all the excess fat that's in the food gets stored. So you will see incidence of obesity increasing in countries that eat a lot more animal foods. So it's proportional to that. Those who eat a lot more plants will be eating a lot of fiber along with the food that they're eating, and therefore they'll be consuming less calories as their stomach gets filled.
So the animal-based foods and the protein in them is not packaged with that necessary fiber, but the
No,
plant-based foods has that fiber. And Dr. Rao, isn't fiber really important for our digestive system as well, and how we release toxins out of our body?
absolutely. Fiber is important for gut health.
Mhm.
So it feeds the gut bacteria. Gut bacteria then multiply, and then they're able to digest the rest of the food. So fiber is essential for human well-being. And the fact that 95% of Americans are deficient in fiber, it's an indictment of the entire system when 95% of people are deficient in a macronutrient. The government does nothing about it. So that shows you that it's systemic, that they really want us people to get sick so that they can feed us pharmaceuticals and grow the drug industry. That's what it looks like to me.
When you put it that way, how could it be any other way besides a systematic?
Right. So the TMAO production is one, which is the trimethylamine N oxide. That's one reason why you shouldn't be eating animal foods. The other reason is that animal foods contain high levels of phosphorus. And when we consume high levels of phosphorus, our bodies normalize it with a hormone called fibroblast growth factor 23, FGF23. I got this from studying work from medical doctors. So it's Dr. Varsha Shah. She's a pediatrician and lifestyle consultant in India. And she sent me all this information of their analysis of why you should not be eating animal foods. So FGF23 has been found to be harmful to our blood vessels and is associated with heart attacks, sudden death, and heart failure.
Oh, geez.
So those who eat a lot of animal foods are prone to more heart disease because of that. And there is also no need to obsess about proteins in our food because, like, look at animals that eat plants. They don't go around measuring protein in their food. They just eat the food and they grow, right? Some of the biggest on earth, they're all plant-eating animals. And they get enough protein by eating plants. So we can also get enough protein by eating just plants. And this is why Americans in general are eating 2 to 3 times as much protein as they really need. Okay? Because there is plenty of protein in food. So if you eat enough calories on a natural diet, you will get enough protein. This is what Dr. McDougall has written in his website when he calls it the deadly dietary deception number 1 is the protein myth. So he's pointing out that this is not a nutrient of concern at all, so long as you get enough calories. Of course, it's a nutrient of concern if you're not eating enough food. So for the 800, 900 million people who are going hungry, you're going to get protein deficiency there because they're not eating enough food. You should be much more concerned about getting enough fiber, getting enough micronutrients, and all of those are found in abundance in plant foods.
Right. Could you talk about the impact of the antibiotics and the hormones that are being consumed in this animal protein as well?
Yeah, basically when you grow animals together in large quantities, so this is factory farmed animals, they're prone to get diseases because they're touching each other all the time, right? It's like, if you are in a crowd and one person has flu, it spreads,
Right.
So how do you avoid that? Well, you feed them antibiotics as part of their food. That's what the system is. So the antibiotics are constantly fed to these animals as part of their food. And when you eat that, you're going to ingest the same antibiotics. Your body is going to build resistance to the antibiotics, which means when you get sick, the hospital is not able to treat you. Second is all the hormones they feed the animals in order to make them grow fast. So these are growth hormones that we feed animals because how else are you going to get a chicken to grow to that kind of weight, like 6 to 7 pounds in 6 weeks? And when you do that, you're ingesting the same hormones in your body, and that causes inflammation in our bodies because it's basically wanting our body also to grow really fast. And we already finished growing. So you'll get inflammation and, increase in cancer growth, and all that will happen because of the excess hormones you're ingesting. That's another one. And that's part of the farming process itself. You see, they're adding antibiotics in the food, and the hormones are in the food. But there is also all the other chemical pollution that is there in the food that you're giving to the animals. And the animals are storing the chemical pollution in their bodies. We take the crop residues and feed it to animals. And what are crop residues? Well, that's where the plant has filtered out the chemical pollution and stored it. in the stalks so that it tried to create a pure water for the grain. So all the chemical pollution is in the stalks. And now when you feed that to the animals, they're going to ingest that and store it in their bodies. So you get a factor of 10 to 100 increase in pollution when you eat animal foods compared to plant foods. That wasn't there in the past. That is
Right.
making animal foods increasingly unhealthy as time progresses. Because every year we are adding another 220 billion tons of toxic chemicals into the environment. So that compounds what was there in the water before. And also think about the water. Are we giving these animals filtered water to drink?
No.
No. They're drinking whatever is there in the ground, and that is highly contaminated. We wouldn't drink it, but we let the animals drink it and then we eat the animals, which means you're going to get a compounded version of the pollutants in the water that the animal was drinking. You'll get that multiplied and in your food when you eat
Right.
the animal foods. So all of these have to be taken into account when we consider the protein myth. Because the objective of the protein myth is to convince you to eat animals. Because without eating animals, the entire growth model collapses. Because you won't grow the diabetes industry, you won't grow the healthcare industry, and you won't grow the animal agriculture industry itself, unless everybody is convinced they have to eat the animals.
This chapter, honestly, I feel is one of the most important chapters of the book because it's just something that people are so unaware of. And could you share some of sadly, the grotesque things that are fed to the animals? Because they're not just eating plants or, pellets, and they're not even just getting antibiotics and hormones.
Right, yeah. Previously, they used to take all the waste from the animals. That includes the body parts that cannot be processed into any product, right? Like the brains, sexual organs, and things like that. They would just grind that up and turn that into protein meal. So it becomes this pink slime from which you get different food substances. They even make, some human foods out of that. But
Jeez.
mostly it goes back into feeding the animals. And that became a source of diseases in animals initially. So when they found that feeding cows back to cows led to mad cow disease, then the industry separated it out. So now the rendering industry takes the remains of cows and turns that into protein meal for pigs and chickens. They take the remains of chickens and pigs and turns it into protein meal for cows. So, and these meals have to be fed to make those animals grow fast, or even to produce milk at high quantities. You're feeding the animals these protein meals. And there's a big dispute going on now between US and India over vegetarian versus non-vegetarian cows. India claims that the cows in the US are non-vegetarian because they're eating all these other protein meals, whereas they claim that the cows in India are all vegetarian. Basically, the product that comes out of the animals is still contaminated because whether they're eating plants or animals, and of course, if they eat other animals, they're no longer herbivores. They're really carnivores at this point. And that means that the toxins in their body is going to go up by another notch.
It's human-induced cannibalism.
And it's also, think about it. For us also, it is not good. Our food system is not meant to maintain our health. Our food system is meant to farm us for the industry. We don't think too much, right? When you're told in school that protein comes from animal foods, we buy that, because we trust the science teachers who tell us that. We then continue the rest of our lives almost mindlessly eating what we've been told is the right thing to eat. When you start looking at the data, you realize this is not the right food to be eating for human beings.
Right.
So the protein myth gets busted, because again, all plant foods have all 20 amino acids, both essential and non-essential, and therefore have complete protein. Yeah. All these efficacy tests that point out that some protein, some amino acid is deficient is all based on muscle growth. For muscle growth, of course, you have to eat other muscles.
Right.
And closer the muscles are to your own muscles, the better off you are. Now, for muscle growth also, you can eat a combination of plant proteins to get that muscle growth to happen. Because protein is never stored in our body. Any excess protein is excreted. So the kidney is the one that does all the job of taking all the excess protein from the body and excreting it.
Many people who transition to the vegan diet, these are a couple questions that they ask. So number one is a vegan diet suitable for children, adults, and the elderly?
Association of
Mm,
Dietetics and Nutrition, I think it's called, issued an update. They'd already said, in 2010, that a well-planned vegan diet is suitable for all ages and all stages of human life, from pregnancy to infancy to teenage life to adult and to elderly. Okay. And they issued it again in 2025, clarifying that it is appropriate for all stages of human life. It has to be well planned. So meaning if you do a monoculture diet of eating exactly one thing over and over and over, you're going to be deficient in other things. But that's not what we normally eat. In fact, the food that our ancestors had prescribed for us, the combination of rice and lentils, if you look at the traditional recipes, they're all designed to make sure that you have a complement of all nutritions that you need, so that you get a complete meal out of it. Okay? So this is not that hard. We already know how to do this because it is there in our culture. Right? It's just that we got educated out of it. And then
right.
you're told to go eat these fast foods and things that really make us sick.
Dr. Rao, you have such a great saying that I love, and it's very simple. It's just eat the rainbow.
It's not just the rainbow of the eyes, but it's also a rainbow of the taste.
Mm.
So we were told to eat a little bit of even bitter food once in a while, so to get all the nutrients you need. Yeah, so we make food with bitter gourd and eat it on a regular basis, but not necessarily every day. So
Yeah.
all the tastes should be there in your food.
Dr. Rao, have you ever met a vegan with protein deficiency?
We are the species that needs the least protein compared to every other mammal on the planet. How do we know that? You look at mother's milk for human beings, and it has 6% protein by calories. And it's only when you're an infant that you need the most protein, because that's when you're growing the fastest. And that's what nature designed for us, 6% of calories in protein, okay, as the perfect food for human beings. We are the mammal that grows the slowest compared to every other mammal. Because
Right.
even mice have to grow faster, rats have to grow faster than us. So all of the milk will have more protein in calories by percentage. So if you consider the rate at which we grow compared to, say, the cow, right? We grow from baby to adult in 18 years. The calf grows from baby to adult in 18 months. And the cow is 5 times our size, which means that fluid that the cow is giving her baby is designed to make our body grow 50 to 60 times faster than it ever needs to grow. So this is why casein, which is the protein found in cow's milk, is one of the strongest carcinogens known to man. Dr. Colin Campbell said if you didn't label it as casein, and if you just measured that as a substance and you evaluated it, he would say that is the worst carcinogen. And only because it's cow's milk, it's labeled as food. So all the experiments that he did in his lab, he was using casein as the animal protein to show how animal food cause cancer.
UN chapter 23 with the quote, plant foods are the real high quality foods that we should be eating for optimal health. This is part of the protein myth busting that needs to be taught to everyone on planet B.
Correct. Yeah, everyone needs to know that the packaging of protein is very important and the composition of protein is very important. So the packaging of protein that comes with plants, it comes with fiber, comes with the right kinds of fats, it comes with the least amount of toxins. That's the kind of protein you should be eating. Whereas the packaging of protein in animal foods, it comes with no fiber, it comes with hormones, comes with antibiotics, comes with chemical pollution, comes with saturated fat. All of these things you don't want in your food. So that packaging is the worst. So plant foods are the real high quality foods when it comes to protein. We need to teach children how to do, rational thinking on their own.
Yeah, very beautiful. Dr. Rao, as always, it's such a pleasure. Thank you so much. You put it in such a simple way that everyone can understand, and the information that you're bringing forth is just so eye-opening. So I just say thank you for that. Is there anything that you'd like to share as we close out episode 23?
This is the unveiling of deceptions, of myths that we have been taught, and just seeing the reality as it is. So thank you for joining us in this journey.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rao. Thank you so much to the audience as well. We hope you enjoyed this episode 23, Busting the Protein Myth. And the next one is just as fascinating, if not more fascinating, because episode 24 is Overcoming the Dairy Deception. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
This has been a podcast from Planet B, where the same humans live in truer systems. If you haven't moved here yet, we thank you for visiting.
Any questions? Any discussions around that? Yeah, the interviewer is truly excellent. I absolutely agree with that, Michael. Yeah. He's very, he reads the chapter thoroughly and then he asks the right questions. Joji?
Yeah, I agree with that too. And some of the previous podcasts were lessons in climate science with albedo and radiating force and new entities and whatnot. And today it's like a medical a class in medical science, so it occurred to me, just thinking out loud, whether it's worthwhile making some kind of MOOC, right, massive open online course out of these podcasts. Of course, podcasts themselves, by themselves, um, are there. I think they are recorded and then they're available, right, on Climate Healers or someplace like that. I was just thinking another avenue could be like a Coursera or edX or something with a little bit of,
we do
just
have
a,
we do have a
yeah.
course on climate healers, but it's climatehealers.org/courses. In fact, the book is an outgrowth of the course, and the podcast is from the book.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Okay. Just a thought.
Yeah, a lot of people have gone through it and they've become certified climate healers.
I guess that's why some people have the CH prefix in front of their name.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Sure thing. Barb?
Hi there. I thought it was really interesting that we kind of picked up a little bit from, excuse me, yesterday's talk when we were talking about different diets, a little bit like the carnivore diet. Just a second. Everything is sticking for me here. I think my voice is catching up with it. But I can't remember what it was, but it was the carnivore diet has like 17 nutrients missing. And that's something that I had forgotten to say yesterday. And not only fiber, but 17 other nutrients are missing. And, oh, I know what it was, because it was that food pyramid and how they insulted vegans and they said that we were missing nutrients when we weren't, and all of that. Well, I think it's to make up for the fact that we can point out 17 nutrients in the carnivore diet that are missing, beyond the toxins and everything. I mean, that's a mess. But let's see. Oh, I was wondering tonight. You talked about you have to get a combination of plant proteins if you are a bodybuilder in order to have as good an outcome. Because I know we do have a vegan bodybuilder, Tori Washington, that is going to compete in Mr. Olympia this year, which is very cool. But my daughter does a type of bodybuilding right now, and they made her eat chicken every single night and every lunch. And I kept telling her, you don't have to have that. You don't need that. But she really felt that animal protein was superior. So I would love to find the information of what she can eat to make the same, the equal to it. She actually is a world champion. I have to tell you, she actually is 35 and over world champion in the type of competition that she's in. But just so that she can feel like she can switch over to a vegan diet and still keep her muscle up.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a whole database, the University of Minnesota. I can give you the link to that database.
Well, that would be great.
That has all the protein content of every food that they analyzed. There are like 10,500 foods that they analyzed. And typically a grain plus a legume will give you the combination you want for growing muscle.
Okay. Oh, that's easy enough.
It's easy enough. Yeah, it's grain plus legume,
Okay.
But if you really want to, because bodybuilders, they want to know how much protein they're consuming. So there are protein supplements you can take, which are made from pea protein or something like that. The people extract just the protein, so you don't have to eat the fiber with it.
Oh,
you can get the protein. And so so I know that, like Kuntal Joysher, who's he climbs Mount Everest, as like he's done it like 3 or 4 times. Anyway, he's but twice he's done it, and he's a vegan, and he eats certain supplements to be able to do that. So people like your daughter who is competing, they need to be careful about what they eat, what combination they need to eat.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Typically, in fact, from a calorific point of view, for the same calories, broccoli is equivalent to beef or even superior to beef in terms of protein content.
Wow.
Okay. So there's plenty of protein in plants, is what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Sure. Jenny?
Hello. Okay. So I have a couple of questions. So, so the part where they were talking about the extras from the cows are fed to pigs, or pigs to chickens, vice versa. That's like really.
Jenny, you're coming in very distorted. Can you adjust your mic?
Yeah. What about now?
Yeah, it's better.
Oh, okay, good. So we were talking about how they're using some animals to feed other animals, like cows to pigs or pigs to chickens. That's really gross.
Right.
And so I was just thinking, if I were to share that with, I feel like people in my circle, or especially my family members, I'm just trying to anticipate what their response would be and then what I could say back. Because I think a handful of my family members would be like, well, hey, like, we buy our own chicken and then we go slaughter them. So the chickens that we're eating must be like still good for us. Or, hey, the cow that we have in our fridge is from the farmer down the street. So, what you're talking about must just be for like mass produced animals. And I feel like they would say like the food that
Right.
we're eating is still healthy. So like what might someone say in response to that?
Yeah. Uh, Whatever you're eating some animal, even if it's grown in a non-factory farmed setting, they're buying feed from somewhere,
Oh, I see.
and it's in that feed.
Oh, it's in the feed.
So yeah, you're
Okay.
kind of stuck because you're stuck in the system that's
Oh,
making. They're saying, okay, this feed will improve, increase the weight that the chicken puts on, right? And that feed
oh,
has
okay.
this rendering,
Oh, got it. Okay.
right? And so this is why all of our food animals that we eat are all carnivores now. I mean, even though
Hmm.
they're meant to be herbivores, in nature they're herbivores, but they're all carnivores now, right? And so carnivores are higher up in the food chain and will have higher concentration of toxins in their bodies.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so it's actually in the feed. Oh,
In the
interesting.
feed. Yeah, it's in
Okay.
the feed.
Um, and then my other question was, there was a friend of mine who wanted to do this podcast, but the time just isn't working out for her. Could you just remind me where will this podcast be found? Like
Yeah.
once, yeah.
So look for There Is a Planet B podcast. So
Oh, like just
I'll
like
put,
Google it.
yeah, and let me just put the link in the chat.
Okay.
So it's There Is a Planet B .podbean.com. So from Podbean, it goes to Apple, it goes to Spotify. Every major podcast channel should have it.
Oh, cool. Okay, great.
Okay, so I put the link in the chat,
Oh,
and we're going to be releasing these videos on these podcasts one per week.
oh, okay.
So this way you get a steady stream of these podcasts.
Yeah.
We're not sending. I mean, we're not doing the Q&A part of it, but whatever we taped, it's going to be
Okay.
released. Yeah.
Okay. And then I think my last question was just like, I can't tell if it's my internet connection or my eyesight or maybe neither, but the slides during this presentation are like really good. And I was wondering like one or two of the slides came in kind of fuzzy for me. Do you know where I could find a copy of the slide?
Copy of the slides, I don't know because
Okay.
that Amit and the team puts it together in the
Oh, okay.
background, and but the videos are being published on YouTube.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so it'll be published on YouTube and the Climate Healers channel. So if you go to, and also there's a Planet B.now channel, I think. So youtube.com/@climate healer. There's no S there. It's just Climate Healer.
Oh, great.
There's no S there
Oh,
because I
nice.
had, yeah. And there you'll find all the YouTube videos that will have the slides in them.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. Rebecca?
Hello. A couple of things, and that is that these are also being live streamed on YouTube right now. And so I try to go back in and say this was chapter 3, the morning session, or this was chapter 2, the evening session, so you can hear the questions there. But sometimes I just put the chapter number it is, so you can also go back and look that way. But I'm looking forward to this podcast. I have something to kind of question, and the other thing to tell you is that about 2012 or 13, I was working at an elementary school, and one week, a lot of people, a large percentage of the students got sick. I got sick. And when I went to the doctor, he said, well, it's adult onset asthma. But I think it was something that being sprayed in the crops around there. So sure enough, my asthma went away. But so I called the person growing the crops, the man who owns that, and he said that they had sprayed something on it. He didn't think it was harmful, but when I told him that, he was concerned about the students. But he revealed to me that this is so much better than what we used to use. We used to put arsenic on the cotton crops, and then all of that silage that was left over was fed to the cows. Now, this was before what they're doing now and putting on it. So, yeah, cows have been fed. There he is telling me this. And anyway, so a lot of reasons why we don't want to be eating the animals. The question that I have is, I remember early on seeing that you needed to combine foods. I think that might have even been from Marion Nestle or something. And then I found out from, and I don't know if it was Campbell or Greger or someone who just said, eat a variety of things. You don't have to worry about matching foods.
Right.
And so I thought, well, maybe you have more research more recently that says you do need to combine them, because I have not worried about that at all.
No, in general, you don't have to worry about it, because if you eat enough calories, you will get all the amino acids you need. Okay, but those who have to worry about it are those who are deliberately trying to put on muscle. If your objective is to put on muscle, okay, and you are working out to make it happen, of course you have to be careful about your diet, no matter what you're eating.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, that reminds me that my mother was advised, she was a vegan by then for 10 years. And in the hospital, they said, you need to eat more protein. And they knew she was vegan. And I reminded the doctor, look, she's vegan. And so I said, so can't she eat that was iron. It wasn't protein. I'm sorry. It was iron. And so sometimes the elderly need more nutrients than others, but the doctors weren't well versed in it. But I did say, what about spinach and other things? And he said, oh yes, you can do it. So I'm thinking, is that another category that needs to look at what they're eating and how to make sure they're getting what the doctor says? But when the doctor says eat more protein or eat more iron, look at the
source where you can get it from. And there are plenty of sources from plant sources, because ultimately all of these went into the animal, through the plant. Yeah. Plants are the ones who can extract it from the soil and turn it into edible things that we can eat. And so then when you eat the animal, you're not really, you're getting all of the other things that you don't want. And so it's like what Dr. Mills said, right? You're trying to, you're trying to get oxygen by inhaling cigarette smoke. You don't want all the other stuff around it. There's plenty of oxygen outside if you just go breathe the air.
Right.
So there's absolutely no reason to be eating the muscle of another animal because you want to put muscle on. That's you can get the same combination of protein that you need by just being careful with the plants you're eating.
Okay, thank you. And I want to say thank you to the people who made those charts. That one, I had never seen the AJ chart before. And now I understand why I am overweight, because I have been eating all those things on the other side of the chart instead of on this side, even though they're plants. It's just too high in there. So, another impetus for me to be healthier. Thank you so much.
We are all on this journey together, Rebecca. So we have to help each other.
Thank you.
Get better.
Oops. Oh,
there was one. Oh yeah. Hi, Bob.
How come I keep adding and it's there we go.
Okay.
Am I supposed to be talking? Because I wasn't going to ask anything.
Someone else had a hand up.
I'm sorry, I thought you had your hand up.
Oh no, they've been flailing around, but not. I don't have the yellow hand up.
Okay.
Okay.
I briefly had my hand up, but I'm not sure if the answer got addressed with the Q&A sessions that are being recorded. They're going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, they're in the live stream on YouTube, and therefore they will be the videos will be available. So, but you will have different Q&As for morning session and different Q&A for evening session.
Okay, so that's all in process.
Yeah,
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Michael. Thank you.
yeah, it's already there because when we go live, YouTube automatically keeps the videos there, and we will keep it up. Yeah, we're not going to delete it because every session we have different Q&A happening.
I thought the morning sessions were a replay of the evening sessions. No, it doesn't sound like that's
No,
the
no, no,
case. The Q&A. Oh,
no, no, no. It's now we are doing live both of them.
oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, we get different people in the morning session and they have different questions. So
Mm-hmm.
and evening session, same thing. Any other questions? Barb?
Yeah. I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember reading somewhere that our bodies are so similar to the animals' bodies that if we're consuming animal meat, sometimes our body confuses our own body for that meat and it will attack our own body. And that's how people get like lupus and a lot of the
Right.
autoimmune diseases.
Correct.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
That's correct.
I remembered it right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the root cause, root cause analysis for why you get some of these diseases.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. In fact, type 1 diabetes is because the body gets confused with the dairy. And so,
Mm.
it's an autoimmune reaction as a baby, as a child, that happens.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Because they are our cousins, we shouldn't be eating our cousins.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is that we also eat the suffering of the animals. So we get that inside of us. It's very, very bad, I think, how they were killed. And you get that all inside by eating meat.
Yeah, there's even a theory that the adrenaline,
Yeah.
the adrenaline that gets released when an animal is scared, because obviously the animal is scared when it's being stunned and turned into meat. And that adrenaline is there in the meat, and that's the cause of some of the addiction to meat.
I think the Q&A are very important. I think both sessions in the morning and the evening are very, very different. I'm learning so much more from day two, but not always it does. Yeah, thank you.
It's always when we have a conversation around with lots of people participating that we all learn more,
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you all. Oh, Georgie, go ahead.
Yeah. One last one, and more for the participants than you. I've been thinking about making a suggestion to my local libraries about adding. There is a Planet B, buying the books, right, to the library. So I just want to request everybody participating to make a suggestion like that to their local libraries, and it's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, please tell them to contact me if they want hard copies, because Amazon does not carry it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
It's a flipped book.
Yeah. With my local library, I've done this before, and usually it takes several weeks or months. So, because they have a review process and budgeting and whatnot. Yeah. So if they do get back, I've been successful in doing this before, and if they do get back to me, let them know. So
Would
what
you-
did you say?
Sorry, would you like us to send you a few copies so we can show it to people?
Sure. I mean, at least I can give them out to friends and family.
Sure.
Certainly. And library, they will take books, but I don't know where they go. You know, sometimes they may just sell it off in the library book sale or something.
Right.
So what did you say about Amazon? Amazon doesn't, but you have a link to Amazon, right?
Right. No, see, all my other books are on Amazon.
Mm.
And then I went into a law, an Amazon representative was trying to help me get this book on Amazon. And printing department said, absolutely no, we cannot do this because they have robots doing the printing. And the robot is looking for a barcode on the back of the book. And if it doesn't see a barcode, it puts it there. What you're seeing there on the left to my left here is actually the back of the book.
Okay.
So it insists on putting a barcode on it.
Oh, you didn't want a barcode on it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, personally, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But then Amazon doesn't want it because people will return it to them saying, hey, what is this?
Oh.
And they'll get a lot of hassles. So they didn't want to do it.
Oh,
but I have
okay.
another printer who knows this and they are printing it. In fact, I can set it up. I will see if I can set it up so that they would ship it to you directly. Right now, and Janie goes and ships it when I ask her.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
So I buy in bulk. So we buy like hundreds at a time.
Yeah.
And then we ship it out to people when they need it.
Yeah. Yeah. When I filled out the form, it asked for the publisher. And I know from your book, it said Climate Healer. And I didn't get all the nuances of it. And I thought it was a little strange that it said Climate Healer as publisher instead of Amazon. Yeah, so I guess this is the reason, because Amazon doesn't want to do it, with the barcode. I didn't fully understand what it meant, but I understand there is some sort of a disconnect. That's good enough. Yeah.
So I was trying to tell the Amazon representative, hey, how hard is it to tell the robot to look on the other side? Who wrote the software?
Maybe you offer to go in and fix it.
Yeah. So Jenny already sent 20 copies to you, Brahm. And so any of you, if you want copies of it, let me know. And I can have sent it out to you. Just email me with your address.
Yeah, I'll send you my address. Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you and good night to you. Good morning to me.
Thank you, Dr. Rao.
Good night.
The house is burning, but we're still sitting in the glow. Phones charged, lights on, pretending we don't know. But the forest is silent, the river's running low, and the flame on our plates is the strongest fire we throw. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. 7 boundaries broken, the earth pushed past the line. Climate, land, species, fresh water, chemicals, nutrients, oceans in decline. Not danger, disaster in real time. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Metafudians rise, this is your power. precious milk. Dairy feeds the flame, cows and methane, fields and forests turn to grain. Politics, culture, carbon, all wired to the same chain. Every cup of curd is heat in the air, every block of butter is a forest strip bare. It's not a small habit, it's a planetary affair. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is our hour. Energy fixes half the hurt, Dr. Rao made that clear. But food fixes the other half, the half that's burning here. Change the plate, change the land, change the future's atmosphere. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Metafoodians unite, this is your choir. Every millet, every fruit, every sapseed, every bean is water on the wildfire of a world we've never seen. Every oil-free bite is a river turning clean. This is not perfection, it's direction. Not pressure, but protection. A week of choices can cool a generation. A company's courage can ignite a nation. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. Metafoodians unite, Metafoodians ignite, sharing love in the metazone, light in the path to a cooler home. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Together we rise, together we inspire.